Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I was thinking I could show you how I painted this wreath. It's quite simple and easy, and I hope you will join in. Also, if you like painting flowers or landscapes, seascapes, there are over 200 tutorials on my channel, so maybe you could go ahead and check them out and maybe you'll find something for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started with this painting. I made my sketch on just a regular printing paper, and that is how I usually do it because I don't like to sketch on a good watercolor paper, because if you erase it, it can get ruined. So I usually sketch it onto just regular printing paper and then trace it onto watercolor paper using graphite paper. Afterwards, because there are just excess graphite, I'm using this artist kneaded eraser to just remove that excess graphite. And right now with masking marker, I'm just making a couple of lines to mask the middles of my flowers, those little things going out from the center of the flower, and also middle of my leaves, because I do want to leave them white. But if you don't have masking marker or masking fluid, you can just use later on white gouache on those places. Afterwards, I'm pre-wetting the entire paper, and you just be careful not to leave any puddles. Just try to water it evenly. And then with just this beautiful yellow color, I'm doing the background and tapping here and there on, and also with the green, just here and there around my flowers, making this beautiful background. When it dries, it will be very, very much lighter. So just keep that in mind. I know it is barely visible here, but I do want my background to be quite light. And now with this reddish pinkish color, I'm just going over my petals of the flowers, and then later on with green flower over leaves, just to make also them slightly colored, because I do want that color to bleed outside of the leaves and outside of the petals, just to make it slightly looser. And when it all completely dries, I mixed in this very, very beautiful pink color to paint in those petals, and I'm painting it quite light, and then with a little bit darker brownish color, I'm adding it to the part of the petal that is nearer to the center of the flowers, just to make that part slightly darker. And that is how I will be painting all those petals. So just adding a light wash of that pinkish color onto the petal, and later on adding just a little bit of that brownish color to the middle center, nearest to the center of the flower, to make that part slightly darker. When I finished painting flowers and those petals, I moved on to painting the leaves, and then I painted in green and added just at the root of the leaf a little bit more of that green to make it slightly saturated, and also around that line I made for the center of the leaf, and then just a little bit of the brownish color also in those same places to make that part even a little bit more darker and to make it pop compared to those other parts of the leaves. When I've painted all my leaves, I got back to the petals, to the flowers, and just finished them off, the ones I did not paint earlier. But also in the same way, I've painted the other petals, just with that light wash of pink color, added a little bit of that brown color at the root of the petal. And also buds, I've painted mostly in the same way, and then added just a little bit of the green color to paint in the leaves on my buds. centers of the flowers, I've painted it with yellow, and then again added that darker brown color to just make it slightly more interesting and to make it look as though there are some shadows also, and maybe some seeds on the center. And then with just light wash again of that pink color, I've pre-wetted my petals, but as I said, I did not use a clean water, but just light wash of that pinkish color, and then added a little bit of more brown color to make it more saturated. When it dried, it was too light for me, so I did want to make it slightly darker, and that is the reason why I did that second layer. Also, there are these small little flowers that I've painted in yellow and then added a little bit more of the brown color on them. And they're just sticking from the branches, so small little flowers. You can paint them any color you like. They can also be a little bit more darker pink, whatever you like. And then I moved on to painting that tape that my wreath is on, and I've painted it in a darker brown color using the script brush, and I painted it also pretty thin, and some places I did press my brush a little bit harder to add those little bit thicker parts, and I think it looked nice, and you know, it's not that boring. It is a little bit more interesting. And also added some stems to those little flowers, also with that brown color. After I finished with those, I made sure that everything is very, very dry. It should not be wet or just slightly wet, never ever, because you know you could just smudge your paint. And when I made sure everything is dry, I moved on the masking marker, and this time I used a razor. It was quite easier for me than using my fingers. And when removed that masking marker, I added a couple of lines, just a little bit details on the edges of my petals and also to the centers of the flowers to make it slightly pop. Afterwards, I used just a little bit of a micron pen to add in some stems in the centers of my flowers and also some dots mimicking the seeds, and then just white gel pen to add a little bit more of them. Of course, you can use here some black color and the tip of your brush to add in those details, and also instead of white gel pen, you can use white gouache. And then I've added again a couple of lines to the leaves to make those centers, those lines, white lines, pop a little bit more. And then I've did again some sprinkles, you know, because what is the painting without the sprinkles, at least for me. And with those details, I'm finishing off this painting and of course this video. Thank you guys a lot for watching and for all your support. I do really appreciate that a lot. Please, if you like this video, hit the like button, share it, comment. If you haven't still, please subscribe to my channel. You could help me tremendously with that. And if you want to go even a step further, you can join in my channel, and to listen a little bit more about that, just press the join button next to the subscribe button, listen to the offer, and then you can decide whether or not you want to join. And without further ado, thank you again for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye!